You hear all kinds of things about what you should be doing to grow your business, how you should be putting more content into the world. You hear about blogging and podcasting and YouTubing and Facebooking and all the things. But what is right for you? Should you be a podcaster or should you be a YouTuber? I'm going to tell you today which one will work best for your business so you know whether to pick up that mic or that camera. What up, rock stars? I am super excited that you're here. Today's topic is really fun for me because I am both a podcaster and a YouTuber, so I can promise you I'm giving you very non-biased advice. But before we get into it, I want you to hit subscribe. If you're new here and you're just learning about me, I'm Jessica and I'm awesome and I want us to be awesome together. That's basically what it boils down to. But if you're not new here, don't forget to hit subscribe because that's like a button that they made just so you could come back and see all the new videos I put out. And I ain't doing this for nothing. Now am I? No, I'm not. All right, so again, we are talking about whether you should be a YouTuber or a podcaster. And this is a really fun topic. This is actually one I get asked all the time. Should I start a podcast? Should I start a YouTube channel? Which one is best for me? All of those things. So I'm going to dive into it today. Now we're going to hit each one of these on 3 categories. We're going to judge them, if you will, on 3 categories. SEO, the know, like, and trust factor, and the effort it takes to produce them or the easiness of them. I don't know the best way to say that, but SEO, the know, like, and trust factor, and the effort involved in producing the thing. Let's just get into it. So first on SEO, let's talk about podcasting. You absolutely can and should create a blog post for each of your podcast episodes. So if you'll click on the link that's popping across the video right now, there is a whole video I did on how to show up on the search rankings on Google and how to do all of that. And you can do all of those things with a podcast episode. Now, what you can't do though is increase Google's opinion of you. Google loves them a good person who uses a YouTube video. And the reason is because they own YouTube. So while you can absolutely, take part in the SEO benefits of writing a blog post that goes along with your podcast episode, you cannot optimize SEO in as amazing of a way as you can with YouTube. Because one, you have 2 things at play when you're using YouTube. You have your actual blog post that can rank because it's got a YouTube video embedded in it and because you have good keywords, but you also have your video that can rank. And podcast episodes by themselves cannot rank on SEO because Google does not have a hosting platform for them and it just isn't as easy to be done. All right, and you have to remember too that YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world. Yes, you can hold those SEO or keywords, whatever, on iTunes or on Stitcher or wherever you're publishing your podcast, but they are not nearly as searched per month as YouTube and Google are. Honestly, in my honest opinion, YouTube wins the SEO race by far, but I need to tell you that yes, it wins the race, but if it's between doing a podcast and doing nothing, I absolutely would say do a podcast because you still have the ranking abilities there. They're just not as high as a YouTube channel. Okay, so again, the second thing that we're judging podcasting versus YouTube on is the know, like, and trust factor. Now, I've talked about this before, but basically this is the process that someone has to go through before they will come out the other end a purchaser. So they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you before they're going to pull out their wallet and pay you. So in that scheme of things, there is an order of quickness or whatever you want to call it that you can take someone through this process. They can know, like, and trust you quicker based on how they find you and how they get to know you. So the slowest way you can possibly get someone to know, like, and trust you is just by written word. So blogging only, not incorporating any kind of in-person or video or audio or whatever. Blogging, text only, Facebook post only. People move much slower through the process when that's how you're leading them through. The second quickest way, I guess, to get them through this know, like, and trust factor is with audio. So that's where podcasting comes in. it is going to be quicker to move them through the know, like, and trust factor by them getting to hear your voice, getting to hear your nuances, getting to hear your accent, whatever, than it will be just by the written word. So if we're scaling these in level of how quick they can get through to people through the know, like, and trust factor, audio is way better than just written text. Now, what is way better than written text and audio put together? Video. That's right. So when someone sees you on a video, they get to see your mannerisms. They get to see the way you talk with your hands. They get to see the way your eyes get really big. They get to see the way you raise one eyebrow. They get whatever. They also get that voice. So they're it's a step above audio. And people can move through that know, like, and trust factor just like tremendously quicker by seeing you on a video than they can reading a blog post or hearing you in their ears. So in that circumstance, YouTube is going to win this battle as well. So in the know, like, and trust factor, YouTube wins over podcasting. Now, again, I have to say that audio will move people through the process quicker than written word or doing nothing. So if that's the other two options, you're not ready for a YouTube channel, you're not ready to get on video, I'd much rather you do a podcast than do nothing. So take that into consideration. All right, so the third thing we're going to judge this process on, these two contenders on, is the effort it takes to produce them. This one is where podcasting is going to win. Spoiler alert, totally gonna win this one. When you produce a podcast, you need a microphone, and you need a recording software, and you need a hosting company, and you need to be able to edit, at least very basically. Most podcasts don't get edited hardly at all. You really don't have to do a lot. You could sit down and batch record a bunch of episodes. You could be in your pajamas. You don't have to put on makeup. You don't have to put on real clothes. You can be in your slippers, whatever. But it's kind of easy to produce a podcast. It's much easier to produce a podcast than a YouTube channel. YouTube channels generally thrive on the more content per week, the quicker it grows, whereas iTunes and podcasting doesn't necessarily follow that rule. As long as it's consistent, it's great. Whether that's once a week, twice a month, once a month, 2 times a week, whatever, as long as it's consistent, it grows. Whereas with YouTube, they favor channels that are putting out more and more content than the other channels in their space. So you have to put on makeup. You have to have a camera, a good camera. You have to have a mic. You have to have good lighting. You have to have, all of these things to actually get a YouTube channel up. You have to have you have to edit more because you flub up more when you're talking to a camera. I promise. I've done both. I do both. I actually have 2 podcasts and this channel. So the effort involved in producing a YouTube channel versus producing a podcast, the podcast is going to win in this category for sure. So based on the 3 categories I've just talked about, you really have to weigh in what's important to you. Are you putting out this content so that people will find you in search results? Are you putting out the content so that people will get to know, like, and trust you quicker and buy from you? Are you putting it out for those reasons? If you are, the effort might be worth it for a YouTube channel. If you're not, and you're just kind of like putting things out to be putting things out, then you might go with the one that doesn't take as much effort. A lot of people have both. A lot of people have both. And like I say, I have 2 podcasts and a YouTube channel, 2 active podcasts. I have the one I co-host with Jacqueline, which is called All Up in Your Lady Business. And we've been doing that since 2015. And then I also have Vidfluential on Air, which is my video-focused podcast that comes out once a week. Both of these are super important to my business. They hold those real estate terms in iTunes. They do the things I want them to do, but they are not near as lucrative as this YouTube channel is. I can say that from experience. But that doesn't stop me from continuing to do them because they are still working in certain ways, in their own ways. So I hope you learned a little something. I hope you know whether you want to do the podcast thing or whether you want to do the YouTube thing or whether you want to do both, which I actually don't recommend doing both at the same time. Get one kind of squared away and then start on the other one. But Hopefully you learned something today. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll be hanging out down there. I don't want to leave you guys with questions. So let me know below and hit subscribe because I don't want you to miss anything else with me coming out 3 times a week. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.